I'm going to tell you about three songs that stand out to me that other people have submitted for Basement Sketches over the past few years. And I love genuinely everybody's music. One of the things that brings me joy about this genuinely is that people are engaged and they're making things, and the range of creativity and the range of ideas and just approach is what makes this super fun for me. I love to nerd out on that, and I can think about songs from each of you, quite honestly, that I love and specifically why. But purposes of constraint, we're picking three. We each get to call out three songs that stand out to us. So the first one I'm calling out is from one of the early projects, Chris Danforth, Tired of Waiting for You by the Kinks, done completely on a children's cat keyboard. It was a bar no one has approached since. It's just awesome. It sounds great. It's got that wonderful Danforth like balance of crustiness and perfection. It's so unexpected and brilliant and hilarious. And Warren has one of those keyboards. Maybe a lot of you who have kids or are young of heart might have these keyboards as well. I think they're pretty common. But man, oh man, fucking kudos, D. Oh, we need more of this. The second song I'd like to call out for other people's basement sketch submissions that stand out to me would be Noah Warren's original song, Sensational Plant. So I can't remember the number of the project off the top of my head, but we did a project a couple years ago, I think maybe, where instead of covering a song, we did original songs. And honestly, that's something I'd like to bring back in this coming year. You know, I'm curious if people would be interested in that or not, but maybe having it more like a songwriting project. So have a theme and same parameters of a time frame. Maybe we rotate, cover with original kind of thing. I don't know. We'll try it out. But nonetheless, we did it once. And Noah's song, Sensational Plant, I think is brilliant and beautiful. And I think it was certainly my favorite. There were a lot of great ones that came through that project, but this is the one I come back to and listen to. And, Noah, as we all know, is brilliant and has a lovely voice. And, he has a very sparse setup. I think he uses an iPad a lot. And, the things that he can do with a very limited palette is incredible. And this song is all of my favorite parts of like, sort of elements remind me of old REM, and but much more than that. Cool lyrics, interesting subject matter, and it's one I remember talking to another basement sketch submissioner, and they were like, we should just all do covers of that song. It's so good. I just love it. An eerie, like reverby kind of chorus. Saw you on none of you, like. My gosh, incredible. Really good stuff. That's good. The third song I'd like to call out that stands out to me from other submissions, again, I love all of them, but calling out three, Don't Leave Me Now, Kelly Duclos. Now, for those of you who haven't heard this story, I'll try to make it brief. When I was in high school in the small town of Paynesville, trying desperately to form a band, not really knowing how to play music at all, with some of my crusty compatriots in Paynesville, we didn't really have a scene of people or other bands or really anything. Probably like a lot of kids in the like early-ish 90s who had been sort of shaken awake through the changes in music that were going on at that time, and or the folks who had somehow been fortunate enough to have older brothers or siblings or neighbors or collegiate associates that somehow turned them on to underground and progressive music. It was really like starting from ground zero, but a lot of people were trying to do it. How do we get involved in creating stuff and making music? And through like a friend of a guy who met another guy skiing, we discovered this town of Litchfield, another town bigger than Paynesville, but a small town in the probably global perspective of things. And they had dudes our age that were starting bands, and they were a lot better than we were. But still, we were about the same age, we were the same interest. We were like, God damn it, we can finally play, a show. Like we could get other people to do this and we can perform. And there was a little teen center in Paynesville that allowed us to use their stage and do shows. So we started inviting these guys to Paynesville, and they would play, and Kelly was among these Litchfield guys. He was in a band called Whale that I remember very fondly. And we all had like, through a narrow window of time, like I think I probably did shows and played music with those guys my junior and senior years of high school. So narrow window. And during that time, like we had different bands, different names, but I remember Whale distinctly as being great. And we eventually, through one of the permutations of the Paynesville band I'd been in and dudes switching up, we had a guy named Andy who was a Litchfield guy drum for us. So, we started to get kind of tight. But blah, blah, blah. I go to college, lose touch with those dudes. Fast forward, almost 30 years, and Kelly finds out about Basement Sketches through Colby Heston, longtime Basement Sketcher. Y'all probably have seen his work on the site. And those dudes had worked together, and one thing led to another, and I had written a post about Litchfield. I covered an Urge Overkill song in one of the earlier Basement Sketches projects, and bada boom, bada bing, Kelly found out. He's like, Neil, I'm down to get involved, and I was so hyped to just hear from him. And we were doing the Pink Floyd The Wall at the time. Everybody picked the songs. We had a handful of leftovers I was dealing with, and I was like, you could do Don't Leave Me Now. And he did this. I remember waiting for the songs to come in that night and kind of, like I do, and I'm listening to them, and I'm kind of getting the site ready, and I'm trying to organize them in the folders and shit. And I was very curious to hear after all this time what Kelly would make. And it's fucking this, man. Like, Jesus Christ, are you kidding me? I mean, that moment we just experienced, like, at the 3-minute, 20-second part where this really kicks in, like, I thought maybe this dude would still have a guitar that he'd plunk on. I didn't expect that. This, it's incredible. It's what wet my pants. So this is the epitome of what I love about Basement Sketches. Bringing friends together who have a common interest in creativity and hearing our output and sharing it and having an audience and an ear and a reason to do it. And I just really appreciate it. And I hope you guys enjoy it too. I'd love to hear what you think about your submissions and some of the highlights from others as well. All right. Thanks.